Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Daily Revolution. Once again, our key passage is going to be Matthew chapter 5, verse 16. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. This is not just our key verse yesterday and today, but it's going to be our key verse as we work through the rest of Jesus' Sermon on the Mount. Because what he's saying is he wants us to live a life in such a way that his light will shine out of us, even in the very things that we do. And that light would be so different that people would begin to seek God and then would eventually glorify God for the salvation that he has brought to them. So everything that we're going to be going through in the following episodes is all about practical steps for shining that light. What does it mean to do these good works? What good works is he talking about? Yesterday, for instance, the good work had everything to do about living a life of inner integrity. Not just putting on a good show on the outside, but having a true life of integrity on the inside. Now today, we're going to be talking about outward integrity. I'm not going to read the whole passage, but if you want to, it's in Matthew chapter 5, verse 33 through 37. But practical step number 2 that he gives is found in verse 37, where he says, "Let your yes be yes, and your no, no, for whatever is more than these is from the evil one." You see, people have begun to use the name of the Lord in vain, and instead of just saying, "Yes, I'll do it," they're saying, "By God, I'll do it," or blank, "No, I won't do that." And Jesus said, "Why do you have to bolster your affirmation or your declining of that request with something higher than yourself? You should have such an integrity that whenever you say yes, people know that you mean yes. When you say no, people know that you mean no. You see, I know that it's very difficult in where we live because we're Midwesterners and we want to be polite. And we feel like that whenever somebody asks us to do something that we have to be so gracious about it. "Oh yeah, I'll be so glad to do that. By all means, let's do this." Giving the idea that it's the most important thing on our schedule. Now, chances are it may be the most important thing, but most of the time it's just us trying to ingratiate ourselves to the person who has given us the request so that they know that we're willing to do it. Or whenever it comes down to something that we don't want to do or can't do, we feel a necessity. We feel it's imposed upon us to say, "Oh no, I can't do that because I really don't have enough time. This is a busy time of year. I don't think I'm going to be able to get to it. I just don't have the resources and the time to take care of this." We're giving all kinds of excuses as to why we cannot do something. Jesus says, don't bow to that. Don't feel like you have to ingratiate yourself, and don't feel like you have to make excuses. Be a man or a woman, a child of integrity so much that whenever you say yes, people know that you mean it without having to give a whole lot of other stuff beside it. And whenever you say no, that you're such a person of integrity that there's no question that they know that you would have helped them or you would have done such if you could have. So we're not going to go much further into this today. I want you just to think about this and try to implement it into your life. As people make requests upon you throughout the day, watch your language. Watch how you feel whenever people ask you for a favor or tell you to do something on the job or your wife or your husband tells you to do something around the house or with the children. Think about your response. Let your yes be yes and your no, no. Because if you're trying to ingratiate or if you're trying to make excuses, that is from the evil one. And it's a lie. Proverbs 12:22 says, "Lying lips are an abomination to the Lord." There's something that he detests. But those who deal truthfully are his delight. We want to live our lives in such a way that God's delight is upon us. And as God's delight is upon us, delight of Jesus shines through us, and people begin to desire God, and they will eventually glorify God for the salvation that He brings to them. Grace and peace, everybody. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.